Hey guys. So, I'm back. After so long again. I didn't leave. I just had a break. Ata, slight. So, for today, I want to do something a little bit different. Of course, we cannot forget the fact that I haven't uploaded in months. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, I prepared a couple of things for today. So just to break it down so that everything is very clear, I'm going to separate this into like three parts. So the first part is going to be lessons from the pause. Second is healing hurts but works. And third is my usual enders. Yeah. So before all of that, mag-catch up muna tayo because girl, a lot has been going on for the past few months. Gosh, what can I even Wow, so many things happened. First, I started taping for my teleserye a few months back. I was actually in Atok, which is in Baguio. And we're still filming until now. So, I'm gonna promote. That's Hating Kapatid. Okay, Queen. Airing on GMA Afternoon Prime this October 13th, 2:30 p.m. And actually, in that teleserye, I'll be with my family, which is very different. It's a family drama. It's very, very heavy. So it's something new for me. And I had to go through workshops and just a lot of things. Besides that, I'm also shooting a movie, which is an MMFF entry this year. Woohoo! And it's called Reconnect. It wasn't officially announced that I would be part of the movie, but surprise! Ito na yung announcement. So, yeah, I'll be doing another movie again. So I'm very excited. This would be my second time joining the MMFF. It's also drama comedy, I would say. Drama comedy in a way. But this character is very different. So imagine I'm doing two of those things, my teleserye and my movie simultaneously. And of course, there are other stuff on the side. So ang dami nangyayari sa buhay ko. But yeah, I think we should just get into it right here, right now. But before that, syempre, since it's been quite some time, I kind of wanted to start with an icebreaker. Siguro rapid fire questions to. Wow, icebreaker tapos rapid fire. Ano ba talaga? Okay, elements. So I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask questions or to ask for advice or anything. And I said, give it to me. Like, let's go all out. I-all out na natin to. Please. So I chose 5 from there. And yeah, let's just get started na. I'm excited to chika you guys. Especially in the comment section. Okay, so first, what is the one insecurity you never talk about? Oh wow. So as you can see, I did not prepare any answers. I am answering everything on the spot because we are spontaneous like that. But siguro the one insecurity I never talk about, I think a lot of people don't know how much of a perfectionist I am when it comes to myself. I don't like showing it, especially in public. Parang I keep that to myself. And when something doesn't go exactly the way I want it to, I kind of beat myself up for it. So I think that's the one insecurity I try to hide. Sana hindi halata. You know. Anyways. Okay, next. Second question. Lol, OMG. Do you think you're actually healing or just distracting yourself? Mm, mm. We're actually gonna dive into that in a while. But I think nung una I was distracting myself, but now I'm in my healing era. So, at least self-aware tayo. And third, most toxic advice you followed about love or success. Let's do both. Let's let's switch things up. Let's spice things up. So, let's start with love. Most toxic advice. I think yung paano ba, when you guys are in an argument or you're fighting and then magtatampo yung isa, instead of being the mature one and like, no, let's talk about it and all that stuff, I was advised to also not speak to that person. So, okay, pag tampo siya, di magtampo ka rin. Perfect. Wag na kayong mag-usap ever. Dapat siyang nalapit sa'yo. This and that, this and that. So when I followed that, wala naman nangyari. I think the situation just got worse. So now I know to better approach things. Especially since I'm not a confrontational person, which I need to work on. And then for success, most toxic advice that I followed. Siguro for success, I would say career. Let's stick with career. That you can do it all by yourself. Like, don't ask help from anyone. Don't work with anyone. Dapat ikaw lang, so that no one can interfere with your work. And you can prove to people that you can do anything and everything. That is the worst advice I've ever followed in my entire life, because you cannot do everything on your own. And actually, the more I worked with other people, the more I collaborated, the more open I was, parang mas naging successful yung takbo ng career ko. So, lesson learned. My goodness. Girl. Then fourth, what is your biggest regret in your 20s so far? Well, I'm only 4 years in my 20s. So, biggest regret in my 20s, I think, is not going out more often. When I say going out, I don't mean like nights out, like all the time. What I mean is like, I tend to say no to invitations, to social gatherings, mga ganun, because I'm shy, or I don't know anyone there. To like certain events, like, oh, I don't know anyone, so I don't want to go because I have no one to talk to. That's what I regret, because I feel like I missed a lot of opportunities and I missed a lot of connections with people. It's okay. It's never too late. Bumabawi naman ako ngayon. So, yeah. And fifth. Oh, here we go, girl. Have you stayed in a relationship or friendship knowing it was bad for you? If so, what happened? Oh, tea. That's on tea, girl. Let's talk about both, shall we? I think the reason why I stayed, or the reason why I stay, is because I give chances naman to people, because I feel like, again, nobody's perfect. It's normal to make mistakes, pero iba na rin kapag paulit-ulit, or when you call them out and they still do it over and over again. That's a completely different story. But for some reason, I always choose to see the good in people. So, yun, I tend to stay and I wait for them to change. But you can't change a person. So, yeah. So, we're not friends anymore. Wow, shucks! She dropped the tea. Ooh. Yeah. So, obviously, I have unfriended these people. And they are not a part of my life. You know, siguro if I see them again, mag-hi, hello lang ako. Because, you know, siguro out of respect. Ganon. Okay. Damn, that was that was kind of crazy. Okay, so those are the rapid fire questions. Thank you so much for sending your questions in. I actually got a lot more, but I decided na let's tease it a bit with 5 muna, and you guys can let me know if you want me to do more of this, especially mga advices. Don't worry, I'm keeping all of you guys anonymous because a lot were concerned that please don't share my name, please don't share my username. Don't worry, I won't. So, yeah, let's get into the 3 sectors or the 3 sections that I want to talk about. So let's start with lessons from the pause. So how I decided to do this was gumawa ako ng mga prompts, and from there I can just talk about stuff. So the first one would be, what did I learn about myself when I wasn't performing for the world? So ayun nga, 'di ba, nag-pause nga ako ng ilang months. So medyo in hiding ako, especially when I was shooting, when I was doing workshops. I was really in hiding because gusto ko sana once I'm out on TV or once I'm out in like shows and whatever, that's the only time you guys will see me. But I realized na you guys won't really know what's up or what's happening with me. I think I have so much depth and personality pala. Like when no one's watching. When I say when no one's watching, I mean like there's no cameras or no one from like the showbiz industry. Siguro when I talk to my friends, when I talk to a couple of my colleagues and stuff, they always ask, where's this Cassie? Where's this Cassie on TV? Like we don't see you. We don't see this type of girl, which is exactly what we need, exactly what we like, or you know, mga ganun. And I think it's because I was always afraid. I was afraid of how people would perceive me. Now, you know, they say like, never meet your heroes. I'm scared of that. I'm scared that if they meet me, ay, hindi pala siya ganun or something. But then, I didn't know that my personality or who I really am was better than the Cassie I've been trying to portray in the showbiz industry. Which, yeah, I've been trying to unpack that and fix that. You know, we're working on it. All right, next is how did I deal with guilt in resting? So, syempre, besides, I know I've been working and stuff, I've been doing my shoots and workshops, but then there are times na minsan walang work or all that stuff. And I tend to feel guilty for not moving or for not working on something right now. Kasi gusto ko na nagtatrabaho ako 24/7 or I need to work on something 24/7. Because if not, I'm gonna lose my mind. This is actually a different take. I remember I talked about this in my previous episodes. I'm not sure if it was my solo. I think it was my solo ep. Yeah. Where I think I said na don't feel guilty for resting because we're only human, which is right. We're only human. And we can only go so far in terms of our work. But another thing I realized with myself was sometimes I get too comfortable in hiding or resting or in my resting phase. I get too comfortable or I indulge on it too much because I feel like it became my safe place na at least here when I'm hiding or when I'm resting, the world can't see me and the world can't say anything about me. But sometimes when you hide yourself too much, your plans just start to just stay there and they're like, hello, are we gonna do something? Are we gonna take action? What's going on? Kasi nga, you get too comfortable with the idea na I'm all alone and no one's here to judge me. But then it's gonna affect your work too. So siguro, I learned the balance of it. Yung balance of resting and then knowing kung kailan ako babangon na, okay, I think I've rested enough. Like, let's go, let's get to work. I need to wake up and work again. So I learned something new. O, diba? My gosh, guys, compare this to the first F. Oh, okay, growth. Okay, sorry. Anyways. And then to end this sector or this section on a good note, I wanted to talk about what new practices or habits that I've picked up in my quiet time, my quiet era, which is for like how many months? Sorry. Um, I think one of them would be journaling. I really didn't think it worked. I thought, journaling, ano ba yun? Yung we're just writing stuff down and then what? I don't see the point of it until I actually tried it. And I didn't realize, oh wow, this is actually therapeutic and it actually works. For the past few months, actually the past year, I've been in isolation mode talaga. As in, checking my surroundings, who my friends are, who I work with, yung mga ganun. And then during that isolation period, you kind of get lost in the sauce on who you are, who you should talk to, who you should open up to, and all that stuff. So I realized, I should just turn to journaling. And it's also fun because you get to see your growth from the time na sad ka, from the time to maybe you hit an achievement or you hit a goal or something like that. So journaling also, I think it keeps me in check na, oh my gosh, I think this way. And also guys, this is super fun. Like when you start journaling talaga, as in just don't think about, okay, I need to structure it this way. Just word vomit and just write everything down because you're gonna realize a lot of things about yourself without even noticing, oh my gosh, that was at the back of my head pala, or oh wow, I actually feel that way about this certain thing. You'll learn a lot of things about yourself. So just try at least once when you're like feeling it. Then another thing would be overall my health. I also found that whenever I feel upset or like I need to move or something, I tend to focus on working out. That's like my stress reliever na. It's also good for me health-wise because I need to keep moving. At least that's what I learned about myself. And besides that, also my food intake. I'm really starting to take care of myself more. And when I say food intake, I've been getting a lot of misconceptions na nagka-calorie count ako or I don't eat and all that stuff. Guys, kumakain naman ako. I do eat. It's just that I choose to mindfully eat. Yeah, so kumbaga I see food as fuel and I make sure na I put good things in my body para my mind is clear, my skin is clear, my mood is clear, everything is clear. We need to be crystal clear because everything is so foggy and messed up. And also, you only have one body, so take care of it. There are a lot of changes that happen, especially, sorry, this is super random, but I started taking supplements, more vitamins now. I think that I realized the more you take care of yourself, the more you'll see the world in a different light. And you'll see and attract the people who are most likely right for you. What else? Oh, and then of course, another thing I learned too was to touch some grass. Girl, touch some grass. So sometimes I would have a social media break because there are times where I would spiral, I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm into like analytics and stuff like that. So I check like, oh, what are people saying? How do they take this type of content? Or mga ganun. It's okay to do that in terms of work. But again, there's always, siguro up to a certain extent lang yung pag-check ng analytics mo online. But there are times where it's really gonna hit you hard and you're gonna end up spiraling and thinking of things that wasn't even there. Ayun, dun tayo sa overthinking. I'm sure we all do it. But yeah, I learned to just, literally, I just put my phone away. And if I can't think of anything to do at the moment, I walk around my room, I clean my room, and then sometimes I go out. I go, because we have a roof deck. Yeah, so I just go up there, I just stand, and I just literally look at the sun and I'm like, okay, nice. I literally touch grass. Literally. Because sometimes I just need a moment of like, the world isn't on your phone. The world isn't on social media. Like, look around. This is life. I don't know. It's gotten to that point where I needed that type of reality check na. So, yeah, that's it for the first part. And on to the second section or sector, which is healing hurts but works. Oh, OMG. Yeah, my first prompt is, what was the hardest part of my mental health journey? Okay, so of course, like what I said, the purpose of this podcast was to shed light on mental health and to help people navigate their early 20s or just their 20s in general. So I kind of wanted to talk about this as well. I want to open up about some stuff. Oh dear, okay. So for this part, I want to talk about this very carefully because I don't want to give misinformation or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna put disclaimer. But yeah, so I don't want to say suffering, oh my goodness. So yes, I have depression and anxiety. And no, this wasn't like a made up thing. I actually got checked up for it. And yes, so I do have depression and anxiety, but we're working through it. I think that would be the hardest part of this journey because I mean, that's literally the purpose of this journey. And I think the hardest part besides that, because that in itself is already difficult. So what more when the entire world is watching you, or what more when you're on TV, or yun may followers ka and you have a responsibility, and a role to fulfill. So that would be the hardest part. Kasi syempre pag may cameras, you can't really like show, well, at least for me personally, syempre trabaho to, I need to be professional, so I can't let my emotions get in the way, or ironically speaking as an actress. But yeah, and I think also staying silent was so difficult. Like I wasn't allowed to talk about certain things, or I wasn't allowed to show up or appear in a certain way. That was also very difficult. And siguro my thought process was like, I think it's the safest thing to do is to just stay silent, to be quiet. And although it is the answer sometimes, not all the time, I feel like when you're silent kasi sometimes it does more harm than good. Like, I just kind of wanna, you know, brush past this lightly. But basically, for example, like what's going on in the Philippines right now, I think we all know what I'm talking about. I think it goes to show na, when you speak up about something, when you exercise your freedom of speech, it can make great changes. Let's say you point out something wrong that's happening or with the system. It shows that changes need to be made because you're pointing out that something is wrong or something is not working. So I think parang I use it as an inspiration rin na parang okay rin na mag-speak up. And just imagine if none of us spoke. What would happen to the Philippines now? Edi continuous lang yung corruption. Okay. Yeah, so that's one thing I really, really, really learned from what's been going on right now. All right. And next, who or what helped me through my darkest times, or what tools helped me? Oh, there's another thing too. Actually, therapy. Yeah, therapy really worked for me. And I really hope that it gets normalized here in the Philippines. Actually, everywhere. I hope it's normalized everywhere, but mostly here in the Philippines. And I wish that people had more access to it because I feel like whether malungkot ka or whether you're going through something or not, I feel like everyone should have a mental health check every now and then. I want to share something I learned in therapy. I actually asked my doctor, I was like, hey, can I share this to my viewers on my YouTube channel? I was like, sorry, just it's very, I learned a lot from it. So, okay, I cannot mess this up. So, basically, what I learned was individuation. It's the process through which a person achieves a sense of individuality separate from the identities of others and begins to consciously exist as a human in the world. That is the most like formal definition of it. Basically, to summarize it, Lion King. Lion King. If you watch Lion King, you'll get it. That's something I've been like talking through with my therapist also, and that's something she taught me as well. Na especially in our 20s, it's normal to kind of branch out from the culture or the routines that you're used to and to explore things for yourself, to basically have your own mindset, your own opinions on things. Kumbaga, explore it on your own and see for yourself, does this align with my values? Or maybe I want to drop this, I don't really believe in this anymore. Or actually, I want to continue believing in this because I think it speaks to my values 100% or something. Yun nga, parang you just really have to go through it. You really have to go through it, especially in your 20s. And it's never too late. And also, sorry, just like a short fun fact. It was actually Carl Jung. He's a Swiss psychiatrist and psychologist. He founded analytical psychology. And also, he was the one who proposed and developed the introvert extrovert thing. So I found that really cool. It's like, oh, okay, so at least this is the dude that made the introvert extrovert thing. You know, when you take the test, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm an extrovert, but or oh my gosh, I'm an introvert. Mga ganun. So yeah, I found that really, really cool. Yeah, so you learn a lot in therapy, and I really want to normalize it, especially here in my channel. Na go for it, guys. If you have the means to go for it. I'm very blessed that I am able to seek help from a therapist, and I will also try to find a way to help my viewers as well. I will let you guys know. I gotta plan that first. But yeah. Or who knows, if you guys want my therapist to come here as a guest, I'm sure she's G. Doc, I'm so sorry I made you damay, but I'm sure she's G. She wants to help a lot of people, especially around my age. So, yeah. Let me know, guys. Okay. Lastly, we are in our enders. Woo. So, what small rituals brought me peace as of today? So yun nga, like what I said, journaling helped a lot, especially when I wanted to rant or to vent. I've reached a maturity level of you can't just rant to anyone and everyone, even your friends. Kumbaga, before you rant or before you vent, check up on them if they're mentally and emotionally able to handle whatever you're going to share or something like that. Siguro just being considerate of other people as well. Not only like, I have a problem, like, I have to like word vomit everything on you, but the person's not ready to like take it in. Also, baka ma-hurt ka lang. You guys might have a misunderstanding, but there. That's why I turned to journaling, because I just write everything down. And sometimes I do my own organizing, or sometimes I read it to my therapist and she goes, what is this? Oh, what do you mean by this? So, yeah. And another thing would be, I don't know how to say this, but I force myself to go out and I force myself to say yes to all events or social gatherings. Even though I'm like, oh, I'm shy or whatever, I force myself, like, it's okay. I'm just gonna show up and I'm gonna force myself to like talk to people and say hi and all that stuff, because I know that's what I truly want, and I don't wanna waste opportunities also. Especially, it's the perfect time because your 20s is the perfect time to experiment and, make mistakes. Oh, girl. Yeah. And I think another important thing is I learned how to not take literally everything so personally. So let's say someone's having a bad day and they put it on me. I made it like a habit. I guess you could say a habit of like, okay, I'm not gonna take it personally. For sure, he's having a bad day or this and that. Yeah, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll learn to check kung, okay, is this person bringing up a problem about me, or is it just like a them thing where they're just having a bad day? So, next is what is healing really like? So you know, on like on TikTok and Instagram when they say like, oh, healing, and they make it so aesthetic, like, what do you call this? Like, just throw your bath bomb in your bathtub, like, or self-care, like the face mask and skincare and all that stuff. Although yeah, that's part of like healing or whatever, but no one really talks about what healing is really like, the truth about it. And honestly, it's sitting through the most rough and uncomfortable feelings, and at the same time working your way through them, because there are times talaga na I feel like my entire world is crumbling and I always expect to have an answer and I always expect to have a solution and to do it right away. But I think this year I really learned like there are some problems or there are some challenges that you really just can't take control of, and you just kind of have to sit with it. You really have to sit with the pain, the struggles, and then eventually when you're ready, bangon ka ulit, and then that's when you find a way to solve it. Just take your time. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, especially when you haven't experienced that type of challenge or struggle. But yeah, you'll get through it. And another thing that really stuck with me is there are lessons that you learn in your lowest, or like when you hit rock bottom, that you'll never learn when you're at your highest or when you're at your best. That's something that really stuck with me. That's why I go through hard times differently now. I think it's that mindset na, you know, when I'm successful, I don't think I'll ever learn this because I'm just learning this now with all this pain. So that's what kind of keeps me going. But you know, once I hit my highs or when I hit my success, I'll learn and feel new and better things. Just keep an open mind. Wow, ganon. So yeah, just a reminder that your 20s isn't about being perfect or reaching the end goal already or being the cookie cutter version of yourself that you want to be. But it's the perfect time to not only learn things, but also unlearn things, which again, not a lot of people talk about. So I want to leave my viewers with this question. You can comment it down below. You can, if you want to start journaling, you can, or you want to think about it. What are some of the things that you are learning and unlearning? Nako guys, when you do that, you're gonna see a lot of things that you didn't realize na parang, oh, okay, I guess I prioritize this or I value this, I don't do it anymore. I don't value this anymore. Yeah, you'll notice the difference. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode. I like to call this the comeback part 1 million. Comeback episode part 1 million. But yeah, I just wanted to share yun nga, updates, what's been going on with me, and at the same time where my headspace is at and where I'm at mentally and emotionally and physically, you know, all that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you guys learned at least a thing or two from this episode. And don't worry guys, I'm not gonna leave. Oh, ito na, ito na. We have a lot of great guests coming up. I hope you guys stay here and join me on this ride, on this journey. I promise it'll be really fun. And we're gonna learn a lot together. We're gonna grow together. And yeah, if you have any suggestions, questions, anything, just comment it down below. And I hope that everyone is safe and I hope everyone is well. And yeah, ito na. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Cassie's Corner. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I promise I won't leave you guys na legit for real na to. I'm so sorry. Okay, bye.